Well, hello. Welcome to Double Talk.
Yeah,
I'm
sometimes,
Steffen.
sometimes you just feel like you're crucified. You know, you just do that. I'm Michael Mandel, and I too welcome you to Double Talk. Call in if you think his hair is blonde, please.
I wouldn't say blonde.
Come on,
actually.
what do you think? Tawny,
Well,
strawish?
It's brownish, dirty blonde, whatever you want to call
dirty
it.
blonde. If dirty blondes were that dirty, they'd never have to wash.
Well, that makes two of us.
I don't.
Anyway, welcome to Double Talk. We're here every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, and then we get replayed who knows when, tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, whenever.
And,
we're here. We're going to...
We're full of hope.
Right now, because right now the Convoy of Hope is in the convention center.
That's true.
What's that all about? You heard about it. I don't know.
We talked about it last week on the show, and if you have a family
who hopes that they'll get a boost up.
Thanksgiving's approaching. You can get some food, you can get some groceries, you get a free haircut.
But not dyed.
For the kids, the people. They have family portraits going on there, human services, health services. Go on down to the Las Cruces Convention Center. If you're in need, nothing wrong with that.
Get to see the convention center.
It's all free, no ID required. Stop in and get some assistance.
ID?
No,
Really?
None required.
I go to a lot of places.
Until 2 o'clock today.
So make it on over there. You got a good 2 hours. Great. You're in time for lunch. Your normal lunchtime, noon. Speaking of eating, you got to be nuts not to eat nuts.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Studies have shown that people who eat nuts on a regular basis live longer and healthier.
Well, they have yes, and actually those two go together hand in hand. If you are living healthy, you have a chance of living longer because you don't get those bad diseases. They found out it doesn't matter necessarily what nuts you're eating, as long as they're not Rocky Mountain oysters. But most nuts have different types of oils and fats in them that are good. And gosh,
It's true.
You want a 20% boost in health and life? That's a great way to do it.
Nuts have fats, but it's the right kind of fats.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have other nutrients that you want. A handful of walnuts will set you right for the rest of the day.
Except me, because I'm allergic. But every other kind of
How about
nut
almonds?
I could
You
eat.
can eat
Almonds, I
almonds?
could eat pecans, even though they look like walnuts a
filberts,
little bit.
hazelnuts.
Everybody loves cashews.
No.
Everybody loves Snickers and Payday.
No, that doesn't count, Michael.
And Baby Ruths.
You can't eat a candy bar full of nuts and think that you're helping your health. Because
getting a little help.
Because
chocolate has been proven to be healthy, although it has to be a very dark chocolate.
Too bad the candy bars don't contain
They're not that
any
kind
of
of
it.
chocolate, yes. They're mostly sugar and
milk chocolate is what they call.
Not so great. I found that roast almonds are wonderful.
They're great. They're great. They're great. You know what they found is farmers who produce almonds, you produce a crop, you tend to eat the crop. Farmers who grow almonds tend to have far less cancer than the average people. Why? Because they eat the almonds, and almonds contain
something.
Natural laetrile.
Oh, well, Edgar Casey once helped some. Remember, Edgar Casey is a mystic. He said that one of the ways to stay healthy is to eat at least 2 almonds a day. Almonds. At least 2.
Not 2 handfuls. 2 nuts.
2 almonds. That's all you need to start
a good
process.
Start.
But being health conscious, I eat way more than 2. How can you just stop with 2? 2 almonds are good, and many times more are even better.
But almond joys don't count.
Okay. I'm sad about that, but yes.
Get your nuts and live longer.
Yes.
Now, speaking of eating, there was a restaurant on Loman called Fox's Pizza Den. They're out of business, Michael.
Not many people saw the Fox's Pizza there. They failed to advertise on local channel 98. Hence, they couldn't get the hordes of people that everybody who does advertise here get. But Fox's started in a very small store on Roadrunner. And then they moved up thinking that that would be great because nobody could find their little store. People could find their big store. It just didn't matter. The competition in the pizza business is big. But the competition in the Mexican food business is not so big. So El Sombrero opened up a place in the same place that Fox's was on Roadrunner. We'll see. That should be an interesting El Sombrero
Express.
Express.
Trying to do what what C Senor Express is doing.
And C Senor Express looks like it's working out pretty well.
Seem to be doing okay. I've actually gone there several times.
I'm sure a lot of people who have moved here recently don't know the history of El Sombrero. It started where Carrillo's is.
Behind the Welcome Inn, which is now Pickwick.
But Carrillo, Mr. Carrillo, was the cook for El Sombrero. He stayed in Carrillo's, cooks the same food. El Sombrero went on then into a far larger
on Amador
space, and they're both doing pretty good, those places. So
yes.
I heard from a Wells Fargo mortgage guy that restaurants in general do fairly well in town. There's not a very high level of failure. The Korean restaurant, I don't know if they failed or they just got tired of it, but the woman who was in the kimchi place on Solano is now working for the Pho Saigon restaurant, and they're discussing putting some Korean things on the menu.
Well, you know, the Korean restaurant over there in Solano, what they do, they didn't advertise.
Oh, that's another one.
Another place did not advertise
El Sombrero is doing
with us.
well because you see their advertisement right there.
You see?
I know, the money's just pouring in from them.
Yep.
We have some new restaurants opening up. We're talking, you know, food like we usually do, but it's also Thanksgiving coming up. So
that's our favorite topic.
Gets you in the mood. Natural Grocers is coming.
Yes. It's a chain.
Yes, I've been there
chain.
to one of them.
Where?
There's one in Sedona.
Really? There's
Yes.
one in Albuquerque, I believe.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're going to give Toucan a run for the money. Unfortunately, Toucan doesn't need anybody to compete with them.
Why not?
We don't mind, but Toucan may mind that. They have, in fact, very good health food stuff, but they also have
organic produce.
Grocery.
Yeah. I'm sorry that, as a lot of people are, that Trader Joe's isn't coming in.
But you got to get over it, you know?
Well,
if Trader Joe's were here, we'd just be spoiled. We find out.
We'll see if Natural Grocers measures up, and if they measure up, then we'll go there.
They'll be fine.
Sure.
The good thing about that is just up the street or down the street, depending on which way you're going, from Natural Grocers, they are building a Kelly's Liquor Store, which is kind of a chain. It's like a
chain, right?
Yes, it's only in New Mexico, I think, like Farmington. That's probably Albuquerque. I've been to that store. It looks really familiar.
Is it a discount liquor store? Or
they have
just
it's a little cheaper than usual. They have
volume
buys
buying,
there.
right?
I don't think it's anywhere like Specs or Total Wine, but it's somewhere near that.
Well, that's good. You know,
it's getting better.
Somehow they're getting a liquor license in this state, which is not easy.
We should not be spoiled by getting too comfortable in this town thinking, well, why should we have to go to Albuquerque or Tucson or El Paso, for instance? We were at the Nordstrom Rack this weekend, and you know, if a Nordstrom Rack and a TJ Maxx were here, it'd be too tempting. Let's keep those temptations for them big cities like Kansas City.
TJ Maxx, that's clothing.
Yes,
right?
It's very much like Marshall's.
Yes.
In fact, it's owned by the same company. They also have a home product store. What is it? Some home store where you can go crazy because they had really exotic. You know how Marshall's has the exotic food section, Ross's has an exotic food section.
You call it Marshall's exotic? Okay.
It does have some, you know, it's got olive oil. You can't get olive oil in a normal store.
So,
can you? You would know because you buy normal things.
It's the only place I get it.
Well, you should go to Marshall's. They have great deals on Italian. They have crazy foods.
Yes, then you get to stand in line for 20 minutes to check out.
Only at Ross's. Marshall's is easier.
No, Marshall's is bad too sometimes. So I've stood in line. I would have stood in line. I put my products down and walked out because I didn't want to stand there for 20 minutes.
Oh, you're so lazy. You need the exercise of standing in one place.
Line
yes, you need that exercise.
A foot.
So we got through that. You're writing down, the next thing we got here is a storm is happening right now as we speak.
Weekend.
We're thinking, man, the storms have been, well, Ohio got hit by tornadoes. People are getting hit by extreme weather.
The Philippines got hammered by that typhoon. We have had wonderful weather the last...
Got hammered by typhoon? I know what you mean, because typhoon sometimes hammers me. You know,
typhoon, Michael, typhoon.
Typhoon. Oh,
yes.
Typhoon.
And
that's different.
We've had wonderful weather the last couple of months, but now it's turning chilly, and you know there may be snow in the mountains.
Winter.
And you gotta love it, right?
No.
Right?
No, you don't have to love it. No, you don't have to love it. You could say,
why not?
Oh man, it's cold outside. I want to go outside. What were you saying about you want to take a swim in my pool right now because you want to break the ice?
I wanted to break the ice.
Yeah. You're such a friendly guy breaking ice like that.
So, you know, with this temperature, I may have to.
I'd like to see that.
And, well, that's, you know.
I don't know what that's a picture of.
If the ice...
Oh, there, it's thunder.
If the ice freezes over, that's the only way you'll be able to walk on water.
Well, we're born with special magic.
And speaking of walking, you know, marching and walking are very similar. And
yeah, this is the segue. Keep
the
going,
Bataan
keep
Death
going.
March
Which
is coming up in March.
You should do it in the winter because then it's cold.
Well,
oh, look at that.
That's the original. That's actually the actual march.
That's the actual march.
Yes, that's
sad.
coming up. Now,
you have to sign up now, right?
They're taking people to sign up to march. It's 26 miles. Some people do it with full pack.
And barefoot.
No, well, not barefoot.
And with those things. Oh, no, that's up a mountain.
That's different.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a mountain next month. I've covered the Death March before as a media member, and I may do it again this year.
Did you drive or did you walk?
Well,
you didn't walk 26 miles.
I walked. No, I walked a ways, and I jump on the media van.
On the media van.
Then the media van would take me to where I wanted to go. Then I'd get out and I'd walk
25
another
miles
ways
down the street.
Take pictures. Get on the media van. Then walk some more.
I bet getting on that media van took a lot out of you.
And
you were carrying what, a camera or a pack?
Yeah, cameras
like that.
and notebook.
A notebook.
Yes. And so anyway, you know, it's been going on. This is the 25th annual right here. The recreation of the Bataan Death March for the honor of those who did the real Death March. And when I covered it for Men's Health magazine about 8 years ago, there were several
Healthy
of the
men.
original guys there. Now we're down to very few. Because many of them,
come on, all those guys got to be 80
in the Philippines
over
were
80
from New Mexico.
Yes,
because it was New Mexico National Guard. They got sent over there.
1,600 people from New Mexico,
and now we're down to just a handful left who actually show up.
They're so small because people shrink when they get old. They're so small they are a handful. You can just carry them.
Well,
put them in your pocket and walk with them.
So this may be one of your last chances to actually meet and talk with the guys who were actually there, who actually put up with it and did it and survived to tell the tale. And this march is in their honor, really.
So how much does it cost to sign up? Well, or what do you guess? 60 bucks?
Well, to sign up, the deadline is March 1st.
Yes, but when do you have to sign up by?
You have to sign up by March 1st. The march is on the 25th.
Oh, the 25th.
Yeah.
So you got... Did they do the march in March because it's March? Is that it?
No.
Is that how you remember when it is? When was that march? Oh.
That march was when it actually happened in the Philippines, which was in March.
And since it's the Philippines, which got blown away, it was winter, so it's nice and cool.
No, it's springtime.
No, it's backwards. It's upside down. The Philippines have the weather different than us.
No.
It's upside down.
Actually, March 24th is the first day of spring.
Yeah, but there it's the first day of fall. No, everything's upside down.
No.
Yeah.
They're in the northern hemisphere.
No, the Philippines are not in the northern hemisphere. That mountain is in the northern hemisphere because that's by us. Really, I think you got to go look at your map.
They're just south of China and Vietnam.
You can't argue these things. You got to go look on the map. Go ahead. Look.
We'll have a map for you next week, folks.
Maybe.
Now,
we didn't know we'd have this argument.
Anyway,
we knew we'd have an argument.
Up, illegal dumping.
What is that? Yeah.
Well,
what's that? Vanilla ice cream melting?
That's paints.
Oh.
Toxic paints and who knows what else.
Don't throw that away.
People dump their toxic waste, their garbage.
By no dumping signs.
Right next to a no dumping sign.
Actually, I think the no dumping sign comes after.
And it's, it's epidemic in Doña Ana County because the people here really have no class.
And you have to pay if you don't have any dumping fees. So what you should do is litter your front yard. Is this your point? Litter your front yard with illegal dumping signs. So that
those are legal.
Yeah. Okay. Litter them with legal dumping signs. Legal, illegal. The signs are legal. The dumping is illegal.
You can get the signs free of charge.
What do you do when you're done with them? You just dump them, huh?
Save them.
No throw.
Yeah. Turn them around. Use the backside.
And
garage sale.
Or you just cut those letters up and you can do kidnap letters. We have to take a break now.
We do.
And we will be back with more exciting news, stuff you won't believe. We have crazy stuff.
Wait till you hear what we have to say next.
You'll see. It's great.
Until then, we'll take a break after these fine words.
Welcome to La Buena Vida Women's Club, away from the crowds, but close to home. Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Hello, my name's Dave Vistine. I'm one of the leaders of the Las Cruces Convoy of Hope that's coming to Las Cruces this coming Saturday, November 23rd at 10 a.m. We want to invite you to come to this great event where there will be live entertainment with bands from across the area. There will be free lunches served for everyone who attends. We have health providers that will be giving screenings that day, along with community service agencies that will help people. We have haircuts and hairstylists that will help families and serve families, along with free family portraits. We have coats for kids that are giving out thousands of coats, and we also have thousands of new shoes that will be given to those that come. There will be a kids zone that day for kids to enjoy themselves and have a lot of fun. And also we will have a truckload of groceries that we're giving out to every family that attends. It is all free, and we invite you to come and join us for a great day of hope. Thank you.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate Fiesta Motors. We're buying a car. It's always a celebration.
And we're back.
We are. Did you eat some nut? What was that? Nuts or your
That's
pills?
not a, no, it's a pain reliever, Michael. I'm heavy on pain relievers this week.
Yeah, because you have a 4-week-old toothache.
It's not 4 weeks, but it's
It is.
It's 3 weeks old now,
Wow.
and I'm really getting tired of it. I had dental work done 3 weeks ago,
Do we have any pictures of his dental work?
and I have the same pain now that I had when I went in there, but now I am missing a tooth.
Wow, go look for it.
So I went to General Care Dentistry,
Uh-oh, here's a disc.
and if they don't fix the problem,
You're going to blame them. Well, you could go sue them. in
I
case they
will
sue you.
report back
Anyway,
what happens.
those of you who are watching on a TV. If you have an LG TV, a certain brand, and you're in England, they know that you're watching. LG TVs, I think it must be one of their higher end TVs because you have little things to put in. It's got a computer that kicks back to their little
To the
computers
head end.
to tell what you're watching so they can better serve you.
Really? Is that
Better
why?
serve you. So you can put things on your TV like the right ads that you might need. I don't know how that's being used yet,
Well,
but it works like the computer.
if they're doing it in England, you know they're doing it here, Michael, because we're way ahead of them. So yes, if you have an LG TV, they know what you're watching. They know when you're watching it. Now here in America, we know
Yes.
who is watching. Like here,
The NSA.
we have a way of telling.
Nobody's watching
who's
this show.
We can actually see into your room to see who's watching. Like you, hey, put your pants on. You on the couch, dude, put your pants on. Lady, please, if you button up.
You can't tell people what to do just because don't be so nosy.
Just because they can see us doesn't mean that we want to see them, but we can.
I'm sure you think LG means let's get Mark. It's
Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me.
and that's one of those arguments that doesn't work. They are out to get you, and you're paranoid, both.
Who have you talked to?
The LG people.
Oh.
Yes. What kind of TV do you have?
I have, it's Samsung.
You know, Samsung just paid Apple. Okay, this.
true.
I will say this, and then we'll talk about it later. They just paid Apple a judgment of how much? $1 billion in nickels.
That's how many nickels is that?
It's a lot of nickels. I don't know. It's hard to divide.
That'd be like
So
25
they say it's 30
billion
truckloads.
nickels.
This was going around the net and Facebook and every place for about 2 or 3 days. And then they finally said, well, no, it didn't happen. But it's a riot to conceive of a slam. And when they wrote it as a as an actual fake
That would
news
be-
thing.
that would
They
be-
said it's because the nerdiness, here's Apple's nerdiness, and Samsung nerds know that it doesn't matter what you pay them with, but nickels is a riot.
Well, it would
It's
be.
not true.
$1 billion in nickels would be 250 billion nickels. I don't think there are that many nickels in the world.
I'm sure there aren't. And not only that, they wouldn't give it, it's funny, but they wouldn't give it to them in a dump truck. They'd be in those little rolls. How many rolls would that be? How many rolls? How many?
You can imagine
nickels?
putting
It's $5.
people putting that.
Is it $5 in a nickel roll? I don't even
I think
know.
so. I don't know.
No, maybe $1 or $2. So it would be 500 million nickel rolls. Anyway, the decision just came down, but they don't have to pay for a while, and they do have stipulations of how things should get paid.
You're not allowed to pay in cash on these things, Michael.
I wouldn't think so. I would just do a transfer.
Do you realize you can't even pay cash for a car anymore?
I was someplace. You
A
can't
new
pay
car.
cash for rent some places if you're paying somebody rent.
Why
You have
not?
because people don't like to deal with money, especially large amounts. Rent is like what?
If it's a
at
rental
least
office
over
and they're
300.
taking in money, yeah.
They don't want to do that. So, but I love that. When you conceive of nickels, what a great joke.
It's
okay,
legal
you
tender.
sued us. Here's your money.
Well,
That's a good way to do it.
if you write somebody a check, you don't have to write it on your actual check that they give you at the bank. You can write a check on a brick.
Apparently, you can do that.
And people have done that. They paid their tax bills and sent a brick into the IRS with the amount written on it.
Well, then they just bring it up. Oh, they have to pay extra, mailing.
Shipping charges.
So, but this is endemic of a nation that likes to believe. I like to believe this, and when I saw it, I thought that's a riot. And there's a lot of things that come out, and that if you don't check, there's a number of places to check. Scopes is one of the places.
Check what?
Check if these rumors are rumors. When you hear something that's absolutely ridiculous, you should check to see if it's real. There was a thing in the Fox and other media that was talking about how on the Ken Burns thing, President Obama did the Gettysburg Address, and he left out the words "under God," which was true. But the reason it was true was because Ken Burns had each of the living presidents read a different version that Lincoln had written prior to the final version. Barack Obama read the first version, which didn't have the words "under God."
Because it hadn't been written in at that point.
Yeah, he didn't work it out, but they slammed him right away.
So you're saying that Ken Burns set up Obama?
Well, maybe inadvertently. How would he know that people would be so predacious?
Well, if you had people reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, if you gave them a version before 1956,
Oh, that's true.
it wouldn't have
Under God.
"under God" in it. So that was only done during the McCarthy witch hunts when we were so terrified of communism.
Right.
We had to put "under God" in the Pledge of Allegiance and on our money, because it wasn't on the money before then.
Well, we had to make sure that God was protecting us. What's funny though about the Pledge of Allegiance, most of those words kids didn't know. Kids did not know how to say those words, and there they go. We have to do the Pledge of Allegiance or something, and most of the words are screwed up, and they don't. One nation invisible.
Invisible, sure.
Yeah.
Well, when I was growing up, I thought the Star Spangled Banner
Underwear.
said, "Jose, can you see by the dawn's early light?" I always wondered what dawn's early light
Dawn's
was.
early. Well,
Dawn's early light.
Dawn had this flashlight that she would go out and check all the chickens. That was Dawn's early light.
I thought it was dawn's early.
Dawn's early. No,
One
Dawn's
word.
early. Dawn is a
Dawn's
woman.
Early. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Dawn, we know Dawn.
Yeah, we do. She pitches the show for us.
Yes, he does. Thanks,
Yes.
Dawn.
Yeah, thanks. We like your early light too. Thanks for using your early light.
Yeah, well, and we
Where are
proudly hail.
Yes. So he looks like he's in school, doesn't he? This. Oh no, we wanted to mention the fact that Obama was on Ken Burns' show because it's the 150th anniversary of the Gettysburg Address.
Yes.
Which was one of the most torturous times in American history.
And actually, he's got all the living presidents to recite the Gettysburg Address.
Even the animatronic Lincoln.
Oh,
But 150 years ago, one of the worst times, Gettysburg, incredible number of people died. It was really horrible. 50 years ago, exactly, pretty much, Kennedy died, which was a trauma for those of us not born, 150 years ago. It was a great tragedy, and there has been a week long of shows on TV.
Yes, there's been a media barrage, really.
About Kennedy. And you know what? 50 years later, who killed Kennedy? You tell me.
Well,
who was it funded by?
We don't really know at this point. There's a new book out now, The Man Who Killed Kennedy, which purports that Lyndon Johnson had Kennedy
the
killed.
rumors were there.
So he could become president
last week, that he could become president.
He
there
then
was also
killed
the
Bobby
mafia.
Kennedy, so that because Bobby Kennedy, when Bobby Kennedy was going to be elected president, he was going to reopen the files on the investigation of the assassination, because the Warren Report.
The Warren Report was the files.
Was a fictionalized version, and so
sometimes fiction is
Johnson
more real.
had Kennedy killed, so that couldn't happen.
Good idea. And then he had Ted Kennedy go off that bridge in Martha's Vineyard.
Really?
So
he fixed the brakes. So
he made the bridge too narrow, and that's what did that.
Right.
So we're honoring those things, and those things are known in school. Our schools, or the kids, were protesting. The kids and the teachers are protesting the number of exams that they're being given.
Right. Well, it's an exam-driven program now in the schools. The curriculum is driven toward the exams.
You know what's interesting? We like to test ourselves because we want to know where we are, and the computer age has done that too. And you can see by LG trying to quantify what you're watching, when you're watching it, computers trying to find out what the percentage is of people watching their ads. Schools too want to know every little thing as soon as you learn it, whether you learned it or not. Did you have something you wanted to throw in here? It looks
well, you know, I think it's a big mistake for teachers to be forced to teach toward the tests. They should teach toward learning and teaching the students, and the test should reflect that.
You know, that's an interesting thing, because I try to teach. Yes. Not a lot.
I've heard you've tried.
A little bit. I try teaching, you know, in my time, and I would be glad if students could embrace information that you like. I teach stuff that I like, which is literature and writing and theater and stuff, and I like it. And I am self-motivated to go after it. But when you have people in class that may not have that self-motivation, you have to do things to force them. And I find that you have to make up quantitative measurement, which is called a test, to force them to learn. I am not
Well, you have to prove
voting on this thing, because
well, there has to be some way of gauging
the number of tests.
If the teaching is getting across to the students.
You do. And you have to sort of make some reason for them to learn. You can be exciting. They might not care because they might say it doesn't mean anything. Anyway,
right. But they won't give you any thanks for it.
No.
And we do
have to make a holiday for that.
But, you know, strangely enough,
we
have a holiday this week called Thanksgiving. And it's coming up this weekend, well, Thursday. But everybody gets the whole weekend off.
Everybody gets this whole week off.
So happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy it. Hunger Games.
Eat a lot of food.
Just opened, so if you're not full, go have turkey.
If you're still hungry enough, go watch.
Hunger Games is a sequel to Catching Fire. Had opened pretty much a couple of days ago. You can go watch it now. I'm sure you will.
Sure.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
And we'll see you back here on Double Talk next week. Now, about that Thanksgiving.